My name is Tony, and I like the video games. And if you like the video games too, you go on gamersgather.com and you read about the video games, no? Okay, thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Bryan of Impoverished Geek, here to do a review of the Nvidia Shield for forward-compatible and Gamers Gather. In terms of technology, the Shield is pretty powerful. The 5-inch 720p display is bright and sharp. The speakers actually sound quite good, going toe-to-toe with the likes of the iPad and Surface. Games and videos sound great, though music is less than stellar. Of course, the Shield has a headphone jack, HDMI out, and Miracast streaming, so you can get better audio or video from an external device if you choose. The Shield doesn't disappoint from a spec standpoint either. It runs the latest version of Android, KitKat. Its Tegra 4 processor chews through high-definition video and produces stunning game graphics. It has 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of onboard storage that can be supplemented with a micro SD card. Some games and apps refuse to run on anything but built-in memory, but that's an Android issue, not a flaw in the design of the Shield. So far, the Shield has tackled every task I've thrown at it. I've used it to watch Netflix, YouTube, and Plex videos. I've played some Android games, Aquaria, Rochard, Jet Set Radio, and Need for Speed Most Wanted. Each one ran brilliantly. I don't know of any Android games ported to or from the Vita, so it is hard to compare the graphics directly, but games on the Shield looked great and appeared to be as impressive as on rival portables. Sadly, Android's app market still lags behind the one on iOS, and mobile games aren't usually designed with core gamers in mind. There's another reason I picked up the Shield, and that's emulators. The more open nature of Android means a multitude of emulators have been ported to the platform, and the powerful processors found in modern mobile devices are capable of emulating all sorts of classic hardware. The Shield handily emulates hardware as recent as the PlayStation Portable. This is where my biggest issue with the Shield rears its head though. The controller hardware is just far enough from great to present the occasional hiccup. The directional pad shifts in place, leading it to read adjacent directions to the one you're pressing at the worst possible moment. The face buttons lack springiness, making them feel unresponsive. I've also had buttons occasionally double tapped from a single pressing. In addition, some games just refuse to recognize the analog triggers on the back of the device. There's nothing more frustrating than a controller that doesn't do what you want, and the Shield sometimes has that problem. It's not as bad as the downright unacceptable controller that comes with the Ouya, but it is still surprising to see these issues on an otherwise well-designed product. The most recent Shield software update also gives beta access to the Grid, a cloud streaming service for games. Although I was not in the ideal range of candidates, I was still allowed to try it out. I found the service to be quite good. In fact, I think the video quality is better than the PS4's Remote Play service, despite streaming from California instead of via a local network. There was an occasional hiccup while playing, but considering Grid's beta status, I was pleasantly surprised. I don't have a PC with a graphics card capable of streaming to the Shield directly, but if the Grid is any indication, the Shield's home streaming feature is a useful one. Nvidia's Shield is a pretty impressive piece of hardware with a few issues that will hopefully be ironed out if a new version is released. If you like emulators or have a PC that can stream to the device, it might be worth the asking price. It won't replace a tablet or outperform the mid-range laptop. And the Android game library can't hold a candle to what you'll find on other devices. If you already have a decent laptop and carry it with you, it might be more prudent to save $150 and buy a nice controller instead. The Nvidia Shield rates a 2 out of 5 on the Impoverished Geek scale of buyer's remorse. It's worth checking out, but it's not going to be for everyone.